pretty wild afternoon here, wasn't it? At Celtic Park, it was a pretty kind of thrilling game. Um, Big finale at the end with 2 late goals. Nothing's ever straightforward, is it? It's never a 3-0 at half time. Feet up, early intros and all that stuff. It was like a hokey cokey afternoon. At one point, I thought it was. It looked like when it goes to one each. It was so ridiculous. I mean, Celtic were so dominant, had so many chances, had hit the woodwork 3 times by that point. Aberdeen got the park and score one each, and you think the manager's doomed. I mean, it's just that he's not. I mean, the guy is not going to get a break. This is just not going to work for him. I mean, it was remarkable. Really, I mean, really was remarkable. But they dug it out and got the result, fully deserved in the end. And I actually think there was signs today that of real positivity with Celtic's performance. I mean, listen, I've never seen a team crying out for a striker more than Celtic right now. I mean, I heard Scott talking about Lawrence Shankland to Rangers. Celtic should go and get Lawrence Shankland. Honestly, it would be a 35-goal season from here on in with Celtic. Crying out for a striker. I mean, by half time, the game should have been done and dusted. Feet up, back up the road, get the selection box out and watch Escape to Victory. It was done and it should have been done and dusted. I mean, Celtic are not just missing chances. I mean, they're missing absolute sitters. I mean, ridiculous the chances they missed in the first half. I mean, Johnny Kenny,
like Tannadice all over again, Mick.
Johnny Kenny had one. It was a carbon copy of the one right in front of goal. It had another one of those ones. Dyson made one of the goals open in front of him and he shanked it wide. Just a ridiculous amount of gilt-edged chances. Balls getting fired over the bar when it dropped into people's feet 10 yards from goal, and it was just ridiculous. And but so they get the breakthrough, a really nice opening goal. I mean, Maida breaks through, cuts it back for Nygren. And it was a big kind of weight off them at that point. Then the red card comes right before half time. Dylan Lubin gets red card. I mean, Stonewall red card.
Yeah.
His goalkeeper, Mitov, put him in trouble. Pulls back Maida. It's a red card every day of the week. In fairness, Mitov redeemed himself and then some. He had 3 or 4 unbelievable saves.
I thought he was incredible, Mick, today, Mitov.
He one in particular from Luke McCown. It was honestly, I'd been proud of that one. I mean, I might have held it right enough, but I'd have been proud of that one. So he's having a world day of a game. They're hitting post. They don't hit the post in Bath 5 times in 90 minutes. I think they had 31 shots on goal and scored with number 30 and number 31. I think it was or 29-30 or something like that to win the game. It could have been 6 or 7 easily. Aberdeen, I thought were disappointing. I mean, this was a team that's vulnerable when you attack them, and I thought they sat back the first half. They were time waste from the start, and it was really negative kind of a game plan that seemed to lack belief. Almost try to kind of see it out. I mean, I know it worked for them in the cup final, something similar, but it just seemed to be this wasn't the Celtic of May. It's not even the Celtic of August. This is the Celtic of December, who have been really vulnerable. I thought they were there for the taking, and yet they invited the pressure. And it was good. I mean, I thought Celtic played really well today. I mean, you got to hand it to them. I thought that the football was really good. Seeing signs of the formation changes starting to kind of stick. With the caveat being, I still think they're vulnerable on the counter. Always, even at 1 each and at 1-0, Celtic always look 2 passes away from being opened up, and that's still a concern. And I think more streetwise teams, as we've seen in the last week, might cause more problems. But in terms of the manager, much needed. He needed that today. And I think the performance was enough that it might give him a bit of breathing space, and people might take a step back and go, okay, we can see what you're trying to do. That was quite good.
Did you feel that in the stadium, Mick, today? Did you feel it?
Do you know what? Very much so. At 1 each, I would if you said to me before the game it's going to go 1 each, they're going to dominate and go 1 each, I thought the place will turn and it'll be toxic. And you know, it wasn't. Listen, we still had the odd anti-board kind of chance here and there, not a lot. But the crowd stuck with them right to the end, and even right before they got the goals, I thought that the crowd were on board, and I felt as though that he did get a bit more leeway. And I think people were seeing probably arguably the best attacking performance of the season.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of fans who are certainly the ones that are more knowledgeable, are knowing that with a bit of quality in this team, this game's done. Do you know what I mean? This game is well out of sight. And again, you can see the same against Tannadice midweek as well. That game can be done at half time as well. So I think maybe people are starting to think, okay, listen, I think that there's definitely been a bumpy start. That's the understatement of the year. But maybe there's signs that this might work. I don't know. It might be the case that in certain games, Celtic are going to be, once they get all these pieces in place, they're going to clatter teams and be swashbuckling and all the rest of it. I still worry about the other side of things defensively.
Mike, here's the thing, right? I noticed a sort of a tweak at Tannadice where Maida, the system was manoeuvred to let him get out onto the wings where he'd been playing in the League Cup final as a sort of number 10. And I thought that was a good tweak, and I thought it worked. And I thought it made sense to me because I'm not sure that I see sense in having your right-sided centre-half or your left-sided centre-half being the guy in possession 40, 50 yards up the pitch in the wide areas and in the areas of the pitch that really matter in terms of creativity. How was that today? Was it the same again?
Yeah, I noticed a little bit difference. What I noticed was I get the ball quicker out in the middle of the park, and guys like Luke McCown and Callum McGregor and Benjamin Negan. I thought Negan actually had a really good game as well. But McCown was in there busy passing the ball and getting around corners and all that stuff. And they were the ones dictating the play rather than the two centre halves. Kieran Tierney was getting forward, but not quite as much as we've seen in previous games. So it looked a wee bit more disciplined, a bit more structured today. This is probably the first time. I mean, Wilfried had the old tactic borders back out today. And a couple of times it was used for a few of the players, but not as much as as I've seen in previous time. The Hearts game the other week. It just looked as though it looked like a team that had a bit more comfort in the system this time. They did seem more comfortable with it. Whether or not that was because Aberdeen had a similar kind of setup, except in a more defensive style. They had a back five. It would be a 3-4-3, but it went to a back five, more a 4-5-1. So it might have invited Celtic onto them, and it matched up better for them. So it looked more structured because it was almost man for man. Instead of getting the better of their men. So I think it played it in their hands. Like I say, a more streetwise team in Scotland will probably change that and make it more awkward for Celtic. So you can't go over the top and say that Wilfried Nancy's cracked it and it's all going to be plain sailing from now on. I don't think that's the case. But I definitely did see more structure, more discipline, more organisation, and more kind of comfort in the system. And the football was better. It's still the same problems that they've had all season, the glaring lack of quality in the final third.
Yeah.
But that's not on the manager. That's on the recruitment department to deliver. And if he gets that, then you might see a more consistency. But it's a step in the right direction for the manager. Listen, if he lost today, I'm not entirely sure he could have survived it. That's how bad it had been a start. I just think there were aspects of the game today that might make people take a step back and think, okay, there is something there. Let's give the guy a bit of breathing space. But we know fine well that they don't get a result against Livingston and they go down to Motherwell, it's back to square one again.